Y'all, we're going live with Dr. Paul Reed. I am getting us set on Instagram. There we go. All right. Hi, Dr. Paul.
Hello, Doc. Good to see you.
Let's talk joy in practice, shall we? Tell us, who are you? What do you do? Where are you? Give us the spiel.
Man, the skinny Dr. Paul Reed, West Coast, Washington State, 28 plus, coming up to be 29 years this next early 2026. So I've been at chiropractic a hot minute. Had a chiropractic experience when I was a little dude, and it inspired me to want to be a chiropractor. And so I pursued it from age 13 until now. Didn't understand all the things chiropractic when I was young and dumb, but have learned a little bit more since then. And yeah, so we, been met my wife the next year, freshman in high school, and said, I'm going to be a chiropractor. She said, what's that? And what do you do? And how do you do it? And I said, I don't know, but I'm going to. And use my athletic career to get my undergrad paid for, and then actually skipped my last semester or my last quarter semester of scholarship and started chiropractic school early and went straight through, opened up right afterwards. And here we are. I scaled and had 5 clinics and have a coffee shop and do some coaching now and a ChiroFest, lots of things. No time to sit still.
ChiroFest? Tell us about ChiroFest.
ChiroFest is a science, art, and philosophy gathering of like-minded tours. We're in year 15 of that. So our tagline is honor the past, preserve the future, so that our kids' kids' know chiropractic the way that I know and love and understand chiropractic. It's a selfish ambition that it's a year-round project, as others that are running events, and it's a nonstop thing, but it's again, it's important. So yeah.
So you just said, within the staffless practice community, we have wellness practitioners of all trades, right? Chiropractors are probably 50% of us.
Okay.
And as you know, I'm in practice too, 25 years. I'm a Sherman grad. I'm a straight chiropractor through and through. That's just my jam.
Yep.
And when we talk about tours, a lot of people don't know what we mean. Even chiropractors don't know what we mean. Can you?
Which is sad, right? What's the capital TOR mean? Yeah, it's there's becoming less and less of us that are living the above, down, inside out lifestyle and teaching our practice members the above, down, inside out lifestyle. It's sad and unfortunate, but that's again the premise behind ChiroFest is just honoring that principle that was established 130 years ago next month. And carrying that torch, to whom much is given, much is expected. And it's our responsibility, the ones that do understand it, to, there's lots of others. Tim Young is another one that's stepping in the gap. Danny's stepping in the gap, and holding that line for what you and I know to be true with health and where it comes from and how you gain it and maintain it and all of those great things. So
I grew up in the New Beginnings family, and I started studying green books when I was 19, and I didn't even know that there was another. That's all I knew chiropractic to be. So then I went to Sherman, and again, that's all I knew chiropractic to be. And the more I learn, the more value I feel. I feel so blessed that I just had one pair of lenses on through my whole education and through my whole practice experience too. I want to know more about 7-figure businesses. How do you build a 7-figure business as a chiropractor, as a business coach? What is that? What are you doing?
Yep. So it started first with reckless abandonment. Had really no idea. I just a heart to serve, right? Again, same as you. Like I didn't know there was any. I didn't go to a principled school. I was registered to go to Palmer. And my wife got a job home teaching. And so I pivoted literally in like 2 weeks and went to Western States, right? So that was school, had zero philosophy. But fortunately, the doc that had been taking care of me since I was 13 was a Palmer grad, Gonstead guy. So I knew chiropractic. So I went in with a principled mindset, kind of was a disruptor in that school, stirred things up a lot, got a little bit of hot water from it. All that said is I had a vision and mission to serve when I got out. And so then it just continued to progress and grow. And it forced me, had multiple mentors throughout still do, hired my first mentor, started working with him 6 months before I even opened and got started in my practice. But it just, through forced growth, like I had to establish systems and process and to enable me to be able to hit my goals. And doing that helped me, hit the 7 figures, or, my main clinic did multiple 7 figures. So wasn't the vision I had. I just had a vision to serve. And I think that's the first thing that most people should enter the service world with, is a heart and desire to serve people. I think that the number one thing is serve something bigger than self, that I try and inspire people to do. And then all the other things will naturally line up and start to take care of themselves. But if you go at it with the reverse, like I just want to go make a bunch of money, or I want to do this, like it's out of alignment, it's out of congruence, it's out of spirit. And then you're not gonna achieve.
My 17-year-old just let my puppy in the room.
Oh, that's okay. That was a squeal.
Take her, please. Isn't that nice?
Yes, it's awesome.
It's only 5,000 people.
It's okay.
Let me ask you this: is failure ever an option?
Well, failure is certain, right? It's just a matter of how long you stay down. We're all going to fail, right? And that's part of, I think, if you're truly trying to do something great and make an impact, you're going to fail. It's just, like, I didn't coin it, but fail forward, right? Like learn. I like to tell docs, like, learn from your mistakes, lean into them. Like the worst thing you could do when you fail is to like stand up, sit up, whatever it is, and walk around that obstacle that you just had, because there's a lesson for you that's forging you into a better version of yourself for whatever's next. And so really leaning into those obstacles, to those failures, learning from them, leveraging them, and then growing through them.
Would you give that advice? If you could give any piece of advice to a doctor, I talk to doctors all day long, not only chiropractors, again, who are just miserable in practice.
Yeah.
They have lost their why. They've disconnected from their philosophy, and no blame to them. Like, my heart goes to them. Yeah. And I beg of them to find the philosophy, even if it's not the chiropractic philosophy, it's the philosophy of their craft. If we don't have like, it is a 3-legged stool, right?
Yeah.
If we don't have the philosophy, we're only sitting on 2 of 3 legs, and we're gonna fall off. So what would be, I know I'm going off topic.
No, we're great. This is awesome.
What would be the question, or what would be the advice that you would give to one of those doctors who's like, Jody, I don't know where my next rent payment is going to come from? Yeah. What do you say?
They've lost their why, right? Whatever why it is, whatever field they entered into, like they've gotten. I like to say, I share a story a lot of times. It's easy to explain to chiropractors. Like, we have our green books, right? Or we'll say we have our Bible, right? The further we carry our principles with us day in and day out. We get in the Word, we know it, we study it, we understand it, and it helps us be a better version of us. And so a great example of that is, there was a story of a young man that was striping a road. And this is back in the days before he had machines, right? So he had his paint bucket, and the first day on the job, he striped hundreds of feet. And the supervisor's like, dude, that kid's a rock star. He's going to be the next me. He's going to help us manage this company. He went to the owner and said, hey, this kid's great. And then on Tuesday, he striped good, but not as much as he done on Monday. And by the time he got to Friday, he hardly performed. And the manager went to him like, yo, bro, like, what happened? Like, Monday, I was for sure you're going to be me. And he's like, well, I got further and further away from my paint bucket, so it took me longer, right? And so we get further and further away from our why, and we perform less, we get distracted, and we get beat up, and we lose our purpose and our mission. And so just really keeping your why, right? Whatever that why is, why you got into chiropractic, why you got into whatever profession you're doing, near and dear, and it'll allow you to stay connected to your purpose. But the further away we let it get, it's just harder.
What's Unstoppable Chiro?
It's my mentorship group to help docs forge their next best. Help them aspire to take care of themselves first and foremost. I'm a fan. Like, and you've been at it a long time too. Like, it's all the same stuff spun a different way. And I'm not going to tell or share anything that's revolutionary with most docs. All the information's out there, but it's really helping them get connected with themselves, build the disciplines and habits into their lives so that they can stay focused and create the life that they want. There's so many versions of all the things that we've done that all started with the same doc forever ago, right? And so it's really just obviously we teach systems and processes, but most of it is accountability to show up your best self each and every day.
Yes. Because if you're at a chiropractic seminar and they're serving bagels and pizza, you got to ask yourself what's going on.
What's going on? Yeah.
What's going on? Like, are we the
team for 130th birthday ChiroFest? So
I just don't want pizza and bagels. I want some fresh fruit, maybe a burger.
Yeah. Bunless burger, right? We're good.
I feel like and it's interesting because in the program that I run on this end, we are in the process of implementing a nutrition protocol that's optional, but it's there because what I find for myself in my practice is if I'm heavy, I have been in addiction in practice, man. If I'm addicted, if I'm heavy, if I'm not working out, if I'm not clean in house, if I'm not connected to source, I am that much less for the adjustment. And I know that I'm a fulcrum. Like the adjustment isn't coming from me, it's coming through me. So if I'm all toxic and polluted, can you talk about that, please?
Oh, it's so, Doc. It's so like, and you hit it with the head. Like if you're not a clear hollow vessel yourself, how are you going to be able to let things flow through you to that person that you're supposed to impact? And again, none of us are perfect and we all have junk, right? We've all got stress. We've all had issues. But again, it's learning from those things and doing the work each and every day. And again, we'll all fall off, right? I tell my guys, like, it's okay. You fell off. You went on the weekend, you had a beer or two or whatever, and you didn't work out and you got off track, but reset on Monday. Don't let it be a week, 2 weeks, 3 months, a month. Right. Like you gotta do something hard that next day and build the disciplines and habits. And the other thing is really not, when we fall off base, everybody thinks it's like, it's a giant event. I have to have 45-minute quiet time or a power hour or whatever it is. Like, it's okay. Build a rhythm. Might be 5 minutes today, 10 minutes today, but do the thing that's going to get easier and build that habit and rhythm for you to be successful. But you're right. If we're not taking care of us, who are we to be able to take care of other people and help them express their fullest potential?
Or at least trying, and when people say to us, I don't even know where to start. My answer is always you start where your feet are. So this goes to my next question for you. When people hit the plateau, what's the advice to them? How do they get off of the plateau and push forward?
So plateau meaning stuck in practice and life.
Plateau meaning stuck in practice and life and marriage.
Yeah. So being stuck or at a plateau, it's our nervous system is established that as our normal, right? And to grow, we have to challenge our nervous system, do something hard, do something different. And so back to chiropractic principles, right? People are going to get stuck in their care because they're staying in the same pattern and habit. And so you have to break that pattern, interrupt to grow. And usually stuck is in business comes from lack of systems, right? And you haven't, like, our systems are all, 100 visit a week office system's not going to work for a 300 week and 300 not for, growth beyond that. And so you have to continuously be evolving and growing and reestablishing those base norms as you grow. My systems and process when I opened in 98 with one CA was completely different when we had 5 offices and 30 some employees. Like, I had to continue to grow and evolve. And what would happen, I was running into a pain point, and then it would force me to establish a new system. But a lot of times people, they run into that pain point and then they stop. Like, oh, now what? Instead of doing the work, like seeking help, right? And or just digging in and finding out a solution for that problem, people just stop. And then they end up looking back and like, oh my goodness, now I've been at the same level for 5 years. I can't grow. Like, well, you're not doing the things you need to do to learn to grow. So,
gee, I just had this conversation, and I'm going to say the statement, and you tell me what you think about it. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a saying when you're given a challenge, as long as you step into the challenge and the challenge is aligned with innate and universal and your path on the planet in the human form, if you know that you're doing your dharmic right, or the thing that you were here to do, as long as you are on that path and you're taking the next right step, you'll have the tools provided to you. Is that your belief?
100%. Absolutely. I think when the vision's clear, the provision will show itself, right? Like when you've gotten clear where you're supposed to go, and you put yourself in motion, you start being proactive and doing the work, like things fall into place. And I firmly believe that, I take no credit for my success. I'm just the knucklehead that showed up and has done enough work. I'm doing my best to listen to God's word and my wife and everything. But I think because we were on purpose, we were united, we did have one common vision, we listened, which is the other thing I think not enough people actually take time to get quiet and listen, right? What are you hearing? There's just so much noise in life. And so where I was going at is like, the short amount of time it took us to get to where we've gotten and the blessings we've had, I think is because we were aligned with what we're supposed to be doing. And every time when something's hard, it's usually because you're not aligned with, that's not where you're supposed to be going.
So what do you do? I know I keep asking the same question in different ways, but I think people need to hear it answered in different ways.
Yeah.
What do you do? I'm not aligned. What does that mean? Do I go run?
Yeah, I get a lot of clarity when I'm doing my workouts. I hear and learn and listen and get ideas, God thoughts, God nudges, whatever it is,
right.
when I'm working out for me, and get quiet and listen. Part of my rhythm is, I'll do my quiet time and then I'll journal or I'll think, right, on what I'll listen and think on what I just read and then listen and then journal what I heard. And I think, again, a lot of us are not taking the time to listen. And so then we're missing all those little nudges and those hints and those whispers that we're continuously getting. And then we pass that.
And they become yells, they become screams, and we get into accidents and we get sick and all these things happen.
Yeah, moments of impact. I call them moments of impact. Like when you're going and all of a sudden smack, like you hit a wall. And it's like, holy crap, like, okay, all right, I wasn't paying attention. Now, what am I going to do with this, and how am I going to leverage it to grow? Yeah.
I think our bandwidth. I think as we are on, I'm still a bozo on the bus, right? I'm still figuring this stuff out. But I think that. Huh? Say it again.
I'm going to use that one, bozo on the bus. I'm going to use that. Thank you.
I'm just another bozo. Paul, I got sober when I was 19 and I'm 52. So do the math, right? And there are these little sayings that I learned in the 12-step programs. And one of them is, I'm just another bozo on the bus. Like I'm just another person who was next in line to bring my truths to the surface to see if other people resonate with them. And it started with chiropractic, and yes, they resonated. And then it went on to my books and the school and all of these things. I want to hear more about your day-to-day. I want to know, and please answer these questions. I'm just going to spit questions at you. You ready? Okay. So just give me the answer as it comes. What time did you wake up today?
Today, a little before 5, which is.
And what time did you first eat today?
It was after I turned, I don't know, like 10:30, 11.
And what did you eat?
I had 4 scrambled eggs and a protein bar.
That's it? And a protein bar.
Protein bar, yeah.
And then what was the last thing that you ate?
I had an apple before you and I started.
What did you eat last night for dinner?
I had a steak salad.
You guys, that's a really awesome question to ask to a practice member during a health history, because if they're like, I don't remember yesterday,
because they're not thinking about what they're doing.
I'm not done. I want to ask more. What was the last workout that you did?
Today I squatted and did, I'm prepping for hunting. So I did some incline treadmill walk with my new boots. You'll see it on social.
Ooh.
Gotta break my boots in so I don't ruin my feet.
Did you work out yesterday?
I did.
What did you do?
Chest, buys, abs, and then some high rocks prep. 3 different rounds of 3 different things. So.
Do you promise me that if I ever meet you in person, we can go to the gym and work out together? You promise?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So, you often talk about.
We can do something.
So, right, I have to go do hang cleans in 37 minutes. So I'm going there, man. I want to ask you this question because this is important. You often talk about the importance of faith and discipline and surrounding yourself with the right people. How has this shaped your life? Give me the nuts and bolts on having the right people and the faith in your everyday, your day-to-day.
It's shortened my learning curve. It's shortened my success. It's expedited to me to where I'm at. That's why I'm a fan of mentors and to discipline, all freedoms, right? Jocko said it, right? Freedom's on the other side of discipline. But if you look at spiritual discipline, physical discipline, financial discipline, relationship discipline, like if you look at any of those things and you really are disciplining yourself, there's freedom on the other side of it. When you have a great relationship, it's because you've been disciplined to communicate and share and all of those things. When you have financial freedom, it's because you were disciplined to save and do the things you need to do. When you have physical discipline, you showed up and worked out and ate the way you're supposed to be. So you have the freedom, the things on the other side, and really, discipline and doing the work is as simple as it is. It's really the key to success, like in all things.
What you have, Paul? You remind me a lot of Tom Preston. First of all, I don't know if you know him, Tom Preston up in Canada. Such a cool guy. He's also a hunter, right? But you have this way about you where people are like, oh shit, I need to start cleaning up I just said shit. But people are like, I imagine that when people are around you, they want to be better. What is that? How do you have that?
I honestly don't know. A gift from God. I think it's truly, Doc, it's just from, like, again, back to our chiropractic principles, right? If we're truly showing up as a clear hollow vessel to inspire and to allow things to flow through us to that person, like it's our responsibility to be the example. And I think people are looking for people to look up to. One, with my family, right? I want my kids and my now son-in-law and to-be daughter-in-law to look at myself and Heidi and I and our relationship and the things that we've done and aspire to be great themselves, and people model. And, to whom much is given, much is expected. We're called to be disciplined and be examples. And so it's our responsibility to do those things. And I am not perfect, right? I by far from perfect.
I know you make a lot of noise on the computer.
I'm not perfect.
How many kids do you have?
Two. Yeah. So I got my oldest. My oldest is 25 and he's in 12th quarter at Life West. So he's rounding his career.
Oh, no way.
Yep. So he'll be, I think he finishes up next March. And then my youngest, and so he's engaged. He's getting married in the 6th or whatever that is. So like 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. And then my youngest is 23. She's already married and her and her husband are in Pullman and WSU and doing college ministry. So yeah, so I have two littles and
so cool.
They're both the next chapter. Yeah. So. Okay.
So I'm going to give you a little bit of a repeat of what you just shared with me. And if there's anything else that you want to add, I want you to add it. Okay. Fall forward, walk around obstacles, keeping your why near and dear, get connected, build disciplines and habits, clear hollow vessel, reset on Monday. To grow, we have to challenge our nerve system. When the vision is clear, the provision will show itself. Moments of impact. Freedom is on the other side of discipline.
Yeah. And the obstacles go through them, not around them. Yeah, lean into your obstacles and grow through them, not around your obstacles, because we're all going to have.
I'm glad you said that because I would have been confused.
those are our opportunities. Because
Paul told me to run into my obstacle. How can people learn more? I know that we have an ad scrolling along the bottom of wherever they watch this, but what if they want to learn more about Paul Reed?
I think the easiest is grabbing me on Insta at Dr. Paul Reed Official or my Paul Reed on Facebook. So, but there's like tons of Paul Reed, so it's a pretty common name, I guess. When you a guitar player.
Chirofest.org, you guys, or chirofest.com. I think it is so important that we surround ourselves with people who have figured out the next right thing on our path. It's so important. And I'm really grateful for what you do. And here's my final question. I love to ask it. If somebody was going to knock on your door and say, hey, Paul, I hear Jody's doing this stuff with Staffless Practice and the Practice Suite and all these things. What do you think? Should I lean into it? Should I check out more? What would you say to them?
I would say she's an amazing human and lean into it.
That's cool.
Check it out.
That's cool. That's really good. All right, Paul, I love you from here. Everybody who's watching, go make the world better with great care, and we'll see you on the next episode. Stay there, Paul.
All right.